Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our next lesson, Science Year 4, Week 21. Before we start our lesson, let us recite Doa. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma warzuqni fahma wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa salam walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Now the theme is still cycle, and the topic for this week will be changing states of water in everyday life. So our objective is to relate changing states of water processes to an everyday example. This lesson is very easy, very short. So now before that we recap states of water. Water naturally consists of three states. Now number one, water as solid, ice, water as liquid, which is water, and water as gas, which is water vapor or steam. So shall we recap again? Water changes from one state to another. Now let me remind you, there are a few processes for water to change from one state to another. Here water can change from solid to liquid to gas, or from gas to liquid to solid. Yes, they can. So what are the processes? Let me remind you. This is water. Water, when it is freezing, it will change to ice. Now your exercise, like check this, your exercise freezing. What happened when it is freezing? When it's freezing, the temperature will go down. Temperature go down. Now remember, you can check on the previous lesson, the previous video, the temperature will go down. And for water to change into ice, it will need to be in a specific temperature, that is 0 degrees Celsius. Now next, melting. For ice to melt into water again, now the temperature for ice will go up, and when the temperature goes up, ice will melt into water. This process is called melting. The temperature where ice becomes water would be 0 degrees Celsius also, and what it is called. Now there's two names. You can refer to the previous lesson. What point is this? When water changed to ice at 0 degrees Celsius, there's a name for it, something point. Check again. So here, when ice changed to water at 0 degrees Celsius, there's a name for it, specific name. What point? Check again in the previous video. Now next, boiling, evaporation. Now water will change to water vapor through boiling or evaporation. When you boil water, you will get steam. When you boil water, you will get steam, and steam is also a gas, sort of a gas when water as gas. And evaporation, it produces water vapor. Water vapor is quite invisible. You cannot see water vapor. In Brunei Darussalam, water vapor is around us, but we cannot see. Brunei is hot and wet country, so everywhere you will find water vapor. You just cannot see it to compare with steam. Next, for water vapor to change to water, it's called condensation, the process. So there are four processes: condensation, freezing, melting, boiling, or evaporation. Five processes. Now, another question you might question me: can water vapor turn to ice? The arrow: water to water vapor, water vapor to water, water to ice, ice to water. But can water vapor or steam change to ice? The answer is no. Water vapor or steam needs to change to water first in condensation. So it'll condense and become water, then it can freeze. It will change to water first, then freeze. Because water vapor is too small. When you want to turn into ice, temperature will go down. So water vapor, the small water vapor or steam will combine, become bigger water droplets, become water. Okay, we shall continue on the next lesson, changing states of water in everyday life. So water is freeze. Now, changing states of water every day. You can see water that is changed every day in the shop, at your house, maybe in school, maybe yeah, it's a maybe, but you can see it in everyday life. So here water is freeze to make ice. And what do you do with ice? A lot of things. Ice is used to keep our food, such as seafoods, fresh. We put that, this one or this one, to keep food fresh. Yeah, here you can see in the market usually like this. Ice is also used, correction, no B, used to make our foods such as cool, such as ice cream or slushies, or your drinks to make it cool. So they use ice that is changed in the refrigerator and use it in our food and drinks. But in other countries, when there are winter season, ice is everywhere. Now some of you might experience snow. I've experienced snow once. Yeah, it's cold actually. But then here, changing states of water in everyday life, you can see these pictures daily in your kitchen or in the shops. Next, water is boiled to cook food. When you boil it, like I said, this is freezing and this is boiling. Oh, there's a box. This is boiling, and boiling produces steam. So water is boiled to cook food. Some of our food are boiled to cook it, or steam from boiling water are also used to cook food, like this one, or like not sushi, dim sum, like dim sum. Yeah, dim sum is very delicious. You steam it, you cannot boil it. Boil it would be different. So when water is boiled, it produces steam. Steam can be used for cooking. Water is also used in factories to cool machines. Steam is produced in the process. When you boil, you produce steam. When you, yeah, for cooking food. And also here, the next picture, there are a lot of machines that needs cooling because machines tend to be hot, so you need to cool it down. So they use water and they produce steam, like in this picture, or like the LNG in Lumut, and you see big clouds of water vapor. It's actually steam. It become colder and water vapor. Now, heat Heat from the sun causes water to evaporate. Evaporation. So evaporation occurs when we are drying clothes or drying fish or drying any kinds of things to keep it dry, like your shoes. Yeah, it's the same concept, evaporation. Evaporation also happens when we are sweating to cool down our body. So when we are hot, we sweat, and when we are sweating, there's evaporation, and your body will become cool. So this is evaporation process. Now we have 5 processes just now. Here is evaporation, then before that is boiling, uh, before that would be freezing. Now how about condensation? Water, we are talking about water condensation. Where can you see condensation? I didn't do it here, but where can you see condensation? Condensation can be found every day. Not this one. Every day when you pour a cup of cold water. When you pour a cup of cold water and there's water outside your glass, that's condensation. What happened there actually is when water vapor in the air, when it touches the cold glass, it becomes water droplets. Now the water on your cup doesn't come from the cup itself, it comes from outside, from the air around us. So there is condensation there. Now our sweat, if you are sweating, that is not condensation. Like, let's check again one more time. Oops. Condensation is when water vapor or steam touches or reaches cold area or cold object. Example, where water vapor become hot, it rise up. When it go to the sky is cold. That's why it condense and become cloud. It become bigger water droplets and slowly it will drop as rain. That is condensation. The same with your room. If you have aircon at home, in the morning, check your mirror, not mirror, window. There will be condensation. Why? Because your room is colder than outside the house. So when the air outside the house touches your window, cold window, it condenses. Okay, do you understand? If you understand, you can do your exercise. If you have question, then you can ask me in the future. With that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Do not forget to subscribe for updates, inshallah. For